Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios bringing you updates from Nigeria. Let's take the election that took place over the weekend. Yeah, because of the going to be low. Now, what was the participation like? Yes. So why did the INEC say that they have the results are inconclusive? Why were they saying that then? Mm-hmm. Okay, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's go to ISIS. ISIS have arrived in Nigeria. We're talking about 200 ISIS personnel, rifle and personnel supporters who have come into that country. Now, where did they come from? You are talking about Libya. How did they enter the country? When we have, are the borders in the northern part of the country closed or are they open? Now, with that intel that has been given that they're going to attack some communities, I mean, that report coming through that they even saw them having their prayer session wherever in the country, do you reckon that the intelligence agency or the security agency can go maybe crack down and then maybe apprehend them? Let me say morning too. Okay, in Russia it is afternoon. So Tosino Nash Olayomi says good afternoon from here, and we say good morning from here as well. Hope you are doing very well and had a very good weekend. Okay, now when it comes to the ISWAP, has the government, the federal government, declared them as a terrorist group?
Well, the federal government have not, done so, and it's quite unfortunate that even the Senate have requested that the federal government needs to declare them as a terrorist organization. But as we speak right now, the federal government have not done so, and that has also made that very, very difficult for so many Nigerians to want to know the reason why federal government of Nigeria refuse, to label them as terrorists rather than as bandits.
Well, listeners, let me just push this story through. One story that has come in from Nigeria. Bandits impose new traditional rulers in Sokoto communities. Reopen markets closed by state government. Now, gunmen suspected to be bandits have appointed their members to head some villages in the Sabun BENIN local government area of Sokoto State. According to a Sokoto-based online newspaper, Daily Starr, the new terrorist village heads were acting on their orders, a ruthless bandit campaign.
In the 2023 election, that is also coming almost. I'm going to be giving us, Star Radio UK time clock on when that election is meant to be happening. It's calmed down now, as much as a lot of people are saying the Constitution does not allow another election because of the, the imperative of that as well. But as of today, 459 days, 12 hours, 43 minutes, and the seconds keep going down is when the 2023 general election is meant to be happening in Nigeria. But yesterday, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Adeboye, has also come out again to talk about how are you sure there will be 2023 with a question mark. That has also gone around the world, and a lot of people are already having that conversation. But I'm going to play the 1 minute video which has been cut off for Star Radio UK this morning so that we can be able to hear it from the horse mouth, as they will say. Again, this was yesterday, 7th of November, when Pastor Adeboye was addressing his congregation at the headquarters in the church.
This is 2021. Some people are already getting ready to kill themselves over 2023.
Okay, can you let me know if the sound is coming out?
Not yet.
Okay.
2023. And they don't even know whether there will be 2023. They don't even know if there's 2023, whether they will still be around. There's nobody here who can say for sure that we will still be around by tomorrow. Nobody. It is God who determines who will still be around by 2023. Somebody said to me, sir, who do you think should be president in 2023? I said, president of where? He said, president of Nigeria. 23. I said, president of where? He said, president of Nigeria. How are you sure there will be Nigeria in 2023? How are you sure? Can you swear?
So, can you swear? That is, what, the pastor Adeboye had to say during that, church service yesterday, the first Sunday of November. There may be no Nigeria before 2023 election. Pastor Adeboye of Redeemed Church warns the politicians. So that was the part of that yesterday. But now let's go to some of the other.
Just a quick one on that. Just a quick one on that, because some people have the view that look.
Millions of Nigerians believe that the constitution was put together. Not just that alone, people have also decided that they want to opt out of Nigeria. So there's a lot of issues. Yes, the governorship election must have gone successfully well. Probably might not mean that the 2023 general election might go as planned, because more people are focused on the 2023 general election than the state election.
Interesting. Listen to Starr Radio UK. Continue to listen to us and continue to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. We have Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing us update from Nigeria. So let's go back. I know Frank is there, but he will be joining us later on. But let's go back to Yomi for some of the other artists.
Well, some of the headline coming out as we speak right now: unknown gunmen have stormed Ebonyi community. 17 residents have also, been killed. As we speak right now, the resident of Ifion community or Hakwa local government area of Ebonyi State are in mourning as unknown gunmen launched an attack on the town, killing not less than 17 persons. According to the intelligence, that attack invaded the community on Saturday, shot periodically, killed about 17 locals, while many sustained injury. Again, some of the insecurity in the country as well. Also coming from the head in close cahoot with ISIS and their West African counterpart. So just before we started the program, we were talking about the insecurity in the country in terms of the ISWAP arriving in Nigeria. But as we speak right now, 2 soldiers have been killed, 15 civilians, have been kidnapped rather, and 15 civilians as well in Borno axis of the country. So let's look at some of the other headlines, and then I'm going to come back again to you in the studio. If you're just joining us, this is Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Is exactly 11:23, the 8th of November, 2021. So let's go to some of the other headlines. Federal government used 621.2 billion NNPC tax liability for rehabilitation. Ijaw Congress warns Buhari of imminent crisis. Over what? Let's look at that. According to the Ijaw Congress community, have warned President Muhammadu Buhari of imminent crisis over delay in the NDDC board inauguration. What do we understand by NDDC? The Ijaw National Congress has called on the federal government of Nigeria to take urgent steps to address the brewing agitations in Niger Delta, especially the continued delay of inauguration of a substantive board of the implicable aberration that Buhari, as we continue to review what is happening in business for a lot of Nigerians. Federal government moves to boost works ministry staff welfare. 100 for 100 policy. The Central Bank of Nigeria fixed 5 billion naira maximum loan limit. Insurance professional urge operator to embrace digitalization. Increased temperature threat to human health, according to the World Bank. Structural deficit, major causes of building collapse in Nigeria. We know that the Ikoyi house that went down, the 360-degree, the body of the owner or the project manager and his friend have also been removed from the rubble, so that takes the number to about 41. A new report has identified structural defect as the major causes of incident building collapse in Nigeria. The report said cases of building collapse which occurred in the last 10 years is spanning to between 2009 and 2019 were linked to structural defect. The report showed that the rate of building collapse was predominant in the southwest, and we know the reason why. More than 20 million people in Lagos alone. That means more buildings is needed for operational use and also recreational use as well, and those that want to also invest, which also record 34 out of 56 cases, leading to the death of about 130 persons in the period under the review. The report titled Building Collapse in Nigeria between 2009 and 2019, Causes and Remedies. A review was compiled by Eso Odeyemi, Zeti Giwa, R. Abdul Wahab, all of them Department of Civil Engineering at the Kwara State University. Starr Radio UK 1129. I'll come back now to you in the studio.
Yes, listeners, Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI bringing you updates from Nigeria. And let me take the opportunity to say good morning to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, who has also joined us, and to as many of you who are listening to us wherever you are. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Okay, with me in the studio, Mr. Frank David, we have Mr. OLAYOMI KOIKI in our North London. Let me come to one of the areas that you did touch on. That is the Ijaw National Congress. Their story is in Niger, the Niger State area. That story is not only peculiar to that particular state. That's why I do ask myself the question: if in the south, the southeast, and the southwest, we have people who are in leadership, and yet we don't see development, and it's not because that government, the central government or the federal government is not giving funds for developmental projects. No, they are doing that, but because our own people who sit there to represent us there are either siphoning or misappropriating the funds that has been given. What do you say about that?
Well, I mean, this was a project that was launched in 2000 when, the former president Olusegun Obasanjo, it was actually launched on the 2nd of June 2000. And for the full meaning of the NDDC is meaning Niger Delta Development Commission. The purpose, the mission was to make sure that development arrives into that region because of the crude oil that is being extracted in their large quantity sold to the international market. So that this, has been commissioned, there's always been one corruption to the other, one corruption to the other. And as the group wants FOI to act to rebuild the NDDC budget so that people can know exactly how much has been involved, a group's social action in conjunction with MacArthur Foundation also canvassed the effective use of Freedom of Information FOI Act to know the budgetary allocation for the Niger Delta Development Commission each year by the federal government of Nigeria. The demand was contained in the communique issue at the end of the town hall meeting that was held in Benin City. The communique maintained that since the inception of the NDC 21 years ago, its budgetary allocation has been shrouded in secrecy, adding that will have availability. And as you know, having freedom of information in Nigeria is just like you're wasting your time. It's never going to come true.
Well, listeners, we have Mr. Frank Davis here. Frank, let me say good morning to you.
Archie, good morning. Olayomi, good morning.
A very good morning to you.
How are you doing?
Archie, I'm okay.
Great. Yeah, he said it's okay.
Yeah.
Now, there's this story that in all the updates has actually touched me, and I'm looking at the fact that in Niger State, okay, this developmental commission, I say that look, there's been the whole thing has been shrouded in some corruption and stuff like that. And I'm asking myself, it's not only peculiar to a particular state.
No.
You come to the southern states that are there. Now, do you think that a Yoruba person who has been appointed or has been elected into office, who the federal government, and let's say it's not bringing much, but it's still bringing something to the community, that money is being used judiciously? Do you think that we see all this agitation and those things that are happening there?
Archie, thank you for that question, and it's very important that we do ask relevant questions like that because Archie, for those who have been following us, especially when it comes to this Yoruba issue, people by now know my style.
Yeah.
And I've always maintained that we cannot continue to use the federal government only as a scapegoat for our agitation. It is time we basically question those who represent us and those who are our own actually participating in whatever is going on. You spoke on, we are talking about governments now and representatives. To what extent have they played their role in the mess that we find ourselves in? And what have they done with the opportunities that they've got? That is why we always say, and I always ask, when we go to that new nation promised land, who are those who are going to be leading us? Because we cannot say you are a governor, you got a nation, and therefore you were part of APC, you were part of, and therefore you are not part of the new nation. No, they are citizens of that land, whether it's they are Yorubas, whether they are Biafrans or whatever. Those call it for cessation. Now, those involved, they're going to do differently. So we're talking about an issue where money has been allocated. Governments and state authorities cannot properly account for even the little that
has been given to them.
These are the same people who, when and if we are able to have our nation who can parade themselves with the long CVs, including attempted senators, that they deserve, we've done this, they've been to the consultancy, and therefore, oh, let's appoint him to lead this. And we bring in again the same problem that we find ourselves in. Because, look, the problems we do have in Nigeria, when we fighting for that, I mean, we need bandits have gone taking control over certain villages. That is very, very serious. Look, for those who do not know what Afghan looks today, or the beginning of Afghan, Afghanistan descended into a civil war between the 1978 all the way to 1992. Now, after that war, the government that came into power failed, apart from the Kabul, to be able to restore civil order in all parts of the country. Similar to what we see. There's no civil war in Nigeria, but we now see a failure on the government of Nigeria to restore a civil order in Nigeria. That's the picture. In 1994, Afghan, what they call it, the so-called Taliban, a group of students. It started as a group of students who told that, look, the central government, it's not performing the way it's supposed to. The end of the civil war marked the collapse of the communist administration. And then the Soviets also departed. So there was a vacuum. Both security, government administration, there was a complete vacuum. Then these students started educating people. That's how the ideology. In fact, Taliban is about students. Educating people about the hard line. Sooner or later, they found slavery in Kandahar areas and other things. Then started working, taking control, certain tribal areas, governing those areas, schooling the tribal them, installing their own, a kind of military administration, and because the central taking control small.
Agree to that or not, the government might pretend around it, but there's already civil, disobedience. Just over the week, just last week as well, more than 3 vehicles full of, Fulani militias were coming into those states. 2 of them escaped. One was apprehended, and when you look at some of these weapons, they were found in some of their hidden bags of, food materials. You would then be asking yourself, there's a big problem ahead as well.
Well, a big problem ahead as well. Let me say, time will kick in for Sunday. Good afternoon to you, sir. Hope you are doing very, very well. But let's come to this final one that I have here. That is the Ikoyi disaster. You were talking about the fact that the owners, the deceased owner's wife had arrived in the country, and the family, there's been some banter there. What exactly is happening on that front?
Well, you're quite right. The wife arrived from the U.S. and already they're fighting over some of the properties of the deceased, even though he's still lying in the mortuary in Lagos somewhere there. It shows that when you're gone, the fight just continue as when you were alive. There's still a lot of. I've just been updated that there's about 3 more people have been taken out of that rubble. That has taken it to 44. 3 dead bodies have been recovered as of today. That takes it to 44. But rather than looking at what has happened, there's already fight of the Rolls Royce and the vehicles and the money and the houses between the wife and the family member of the man that died in that project.
Now, interesting there, they are fighting for whatever they're going to get. But the people who have died, what compensation is going to be given to them? And is the state doing something about that to cost them? Because it's their negligence that has caused this. Are they going to cause them to compensate these people rather than going around fighting for themselves?
Well, I mean, it doesn't work like that, in Nigeria. Yes, those are the hospital have been well taken care of. But when you look at the issues in terms of who is going to compensate those 44, we just have to wait and see what the final result will be from the governor of Lagos State that have set up, a committee to look into the issue.
Oh, okay. Yomi, let me say thank you very much because I know that you are pressed with time now. You need to be out there doing some work. So have a lovely, lovely, lovely day, and we'll catch up tomorrow, God willing.
Thank you very much again. Stay tuned with Frank and Archie for the remaining part of this segment on the Star Radio Morning Show. Remember, if you're sending money home to use SendWave, remember the code S for Star, R for Radio. I'll be back again same time tomorrow. From me now, bye for now.
Oh, okay. Well, listeners, it is Star Radio UK.